Before I start, I just have to say how impressed I am by the artwork being made at home. It's absolutely fantastic. I want to thank you for taking time to do it and say a huge thank you to parents for supporting your children, and I hope you joined in and made something too. So this is workshop 2, which is observational drawing. So you'll need some pencils, a pen and some fruit or leaves to draw. We're also going to be using pastels in this workshop, which you may not have at home. You could use chalks instead, would be ideal. You could use crayons, but they're not as easy to rub as pastels. And I've discovered a new thing, which is to use makeup. But if you're going to use makeup, please ask permission. The workshop's suitable for all ages, but there is a little section in it for people with very small paws. They have their own special section of how to approach working with the natural objects. However, having said that, everyone can do the start of the video, which is a drawing warm-up. There are 3 drawing warm-ups. Please try and do them all if you're reception class and up, as they're a good way to just get yourself into the right mood for thinking and drawing. At the end of the video, as in workshop 1, there's an extension activity. Let's get started and do some drawing together. When I'm working at school as an art educator with my kids, we always warm up before we're drawing. Very simple. I'm just going to draw some circles. Don't need a rubber for this. So the first thing we're going to do is just think about mark making, and in the centre make a repeating mark. These are just marks on their own, and I'm repeating some small dashes. So that's the first one. The second one, I quite like to create a tone rather than a mark. So I'm going to start off making as dark an area as I can. This is quite easy using this 2B pencil. And for this, I could just let the pencil go one way, but I'm doing it lots of different ways. I mean, the movement of my hand is lots of different ways. This is a great way just to get concentrating on the different abilities of your pencil, really. I'd like to do some cross-hatching, which we use a lot, again, in our sessions in school. It starts off in a similar way, repeated line, and then going across that line. So that's the first drawing warm-up done. If you are younger and have very small paws, please skip the next 2 drawing warm-ups. Everybody else, please gather some organic objects to use in the next drawing warm-ups, and cut out a small cardboard square and put a hole in the middle of it. So this technique is a bit boring to watch, as I can't see what I'm drawing, and nor can you. You let your pencil move, so it is a continuous line drawing, but also you're not looking at what you're drawing, you're looking almost entirely at the thing that you are drawing. Please pause the video if you'd like to use any of these photographs to make your unseen drawing from. For the next drawing warm-up, take away your piece of cardboard and do a continuous line drawing. Try not to let your pen or pencil lift off the paper. Later on we'll talk about scale. This tulip drawing has been scaled down, made smaller. Enjoy looking and respond with your pen. Try to observe as closely as you can all the textures and lines in your object. Pause the video as you go along. When you've finished the 3 drawing warm-ups, we're ready to do the next bit. Before we do that, here's the art activity for those of us with smaller paws. Before you begin the art workshop, you need a leaf and some pastels or chalk or makeup, but please ask first if you're going to use makeup. Use your fingers to rub around your leaf and you'll get a pattern. You'll see your leaf appear when you take it away. You have to hold it still and hold it quite steady. It's also fun to rip leaves out of paper Then you can make different sizes and shapes of leaf and then do the same thing. Just rub along the edges. I found it easier to go from the middle of the leaf outwards. Keep going round and round as many times as you can. I think I managed to get about 6 leaves on. Now pattern your leaf shape with different marks. Have a look at the leaf you have or make up your marks from the drawing warm-up we did at the beginning. And then have fun and add your paper leaves on. Well done, it's finished! For everyone else, here's the main bit of this observational drawing workshop. Fold a piece of A4 paper in half, draw a long line down the middle and add 2 lines and you'll have 8 squares. Now cut a square out of a sheet of card. If there's no card, just use paper. Make the square quite small. This is a viewfinder. Viewfinders help you get a close-up look at objects. What we're going to do is place this on an object so that we just see one bit of it. And it has to be a natural object. So the best natural objects I've found in my home, things like this, an onion, which you cut in half, I'm hoping not to cry, the lemon. Looking at these objects through a viewfinder helps to find the outline of a shape quite easily. You can really concentrate on the texture. And the scaling up is that anything you see through this small viewer is going to be put into these squares, and obviously this square is small and these squares are bigger, so that's how it's going to be scaled up. If you find it hard to scale up your drawing, don't worry about it at all. This drawing was done in a big square at the same scale as the photograph of the kiwi fruit. It's fine to draw things at the same scale, same size, if you find it tricky to scale up. Still challenge yourself to have a go at scaling up from a little square to a big square. We used makeup, felt tips, pastels, charcoal, chalk would also be good. Here are some more photographic images to use. To draw from them using a viewfinder, you'll have to put the viewfinder on the screen when you pause the video. It's about looking at what you can see, what lines are visible to you in the rectangle. Just a reminder that the most important person is you. Every artwork is different, everyone sees things slightly differently. The questions you might want to ask is, what would I like to do again? What do I find interesting about my work? What would I change? Take your time, enjoy it, respond to what you see. There's no good or bad, there's just difference in how people see and how people respond to what they're drawing. So no judgments please. Enjoy your work, looking, keep drawing and fill in all of your 8 squares. This is my daughter drawing using the same techniques as we are. She is 15 and currently doing GCSE art. This means she has spent a lot of time drawing and practicing scaling up objects. I hope you've enjoyed doing your observational drawings on this scale and taking a really close-up look at natural objects. To me, this way of working is really interesting because you see so many lines, patterns and textures you haven't seen before. Do share your artwork with your family and give yourself some praise for completing this workshop. Well done. In the next workshop, workshop 3, we'll be bringing together our drawings and our collage explorations from workshop 1. Coming up is an extension activity for older children or children who'd like to carry on making and doing. For the extension activity, choose one square from your scaled up drawings and sketch out the design from that square onto A3 paper. So you're scaling up again into an even bigger square. Then take some charcoal or makeup and create shadows and light. Try and only use your fingers and decide where you think the light and the shadow should be. It's almost like inventing a 3D shape. You can use a rubber to add in light areas to your work. You could finish by adding some pencil marks that you liked from the drawing warm-ups, or following lines that you're interested in. It's up to you to decide when your drawing is finished. Thank you for making and creating art at home. And a massive thank you to my 2 kids who've helped me out so much. Workshop 3 will be coming soon.